While the football world keeps its eyes fixed on blockbuster transfers and mega money deals, something fascinating is happening under the radar. Manchester United, a club crying out for midfield balance, control, and bite, may have just found the exact player who fits every missing piece of their puzzle. His name? Lucien Agoume. If you don't know that name yet, buckle up. Because once you truly understand what this French prodigy brings to the pitch, his defensive instincts, his fearless duels, his ability to carry the ball through the press, his tactical awareness, his creativity in transition, you'll realize why he could be the silent revolution that transforms Manchester United's midfield from fragile to formidable. This is not just another hype job. This is football's hidden steel. Let's be brutally honest. For the last decade, Manchester United's midfield has been their greatest weakness. Yes, they've had moments of brilliance, Bruno's creativity, Casemiro's leadership, Mainoo's youthful promise, but consistency and balance, that's been missing. Too often, United are overrun in midfield, unable to control games, unable to dictate tempo, and vulnerable when pressed. And this is exactly where Agoume steps in. Because he doesn't just bring one quality, he brings an entire toolkit that United's engine room has been crying out for. Who is Lucien Agoume? Born in Yaoundé, Cameroon, before moving to France at a young age, Agoume was always destined for the spotlight. From a teenager, comparisons to Paul Pogba were already flying around. But don't mistake him for a copy. Agoume has his own unique identity. Less flash, more grit. Less showmanship, more substance. Standing at 6'1", he combines the physical presence of a defensive midfielder with the intelligence of a deep-lying playmaker. He joined Inter Milan as a teenager, and while game time in Serie A was limited, his loan spells revealed his true quality. Clubs in France quickly realized they were dealing with a special talent. First, let's talk about his defensive qualities. Because Agoume is a destroyer in the middle of the park. He relishes duels. He hunts the ball. He positions himself in spaces where danger is about to appear, not where it already is. That anticipation is rare. Watch him in a one-on-one duel and you'll see something telling. He doesn't dive in recklessly. He waits, calculates, and then pounces. His tackling technique is clean, but when needed, he can be rugged and uncompromising. That's a quality United fans have been begging for. Someone who makes midfield a battlefield, not a free passage. And it's not just tackles. It's aerial duels. Agoume times his jumps, uses his frame, and dominates physically. At United, who often lose second balls in midfield, this aerial command could be game-changing. But Agoume is not just a physical enforcer. He is a thinker. He sees the game 2 or 3 moves ahead. He doesn't just chase the ball. He closes off passing lanes, funnels opponents into traps, and forces mistakes. That tactical awareness makes him far more than a destroyer. He's a director of defensive structure. Imagine him shielding the back line, reading the game, sweeping up danger before it even materializes. United center-backs would finally breathe easier. Now, here's where Agoume becomes truly dangerous. Because unlike some defensive midfielders who win the ball and immediately pass sideways, Agoume has the courage to carry the ball forward. Press comes in, he doesn't panic. He uses his strength, his close control, and his composure to glide past the first line. Suddenly, what looked like a defensive action turns into a counter-attacking platform. That ability to resist the press and progress the ball is priceless in modern football. Think of how United struggle when pressed high. With Agoume, instead of panic clearances, you get calm progression. Instead of surrendering possession, you get momentum. Agoume is not just a carrier, he's a distributor. He's got the short, quick passes to keep possession ticking, but also the vision to break lines. One of his underrated qualities is how quickly he scans the pitch. Before receiving the ball, he knows his next move. This is why coaches trust him to set tempo. He can drop between the center backs to start build-up or push slightly higher to release runners. Progressive passes, he's got them. Switches of play to open up flanks in his locker through balls that split a defensive line. He has the courage to attempt them. At United, where the transition often breaks down between defense and attack, Agoume would be the bridge. Now, don't mistake him for a pure defensive anchor. Agoume has creativity. He may not be racking up 15 assists per season, but his vision and timing allow him to unlock defenses in subtle ways. Picture this: Bruno drifts into space, Rashford makes a diagonal run, and Agoume, deep in midfield, threads a perfectly weighted ball between defenders. That's how chances are born. And let's not ignore his ability to shoot. He doesn't take a huge volume of shots, but when he does, it's with purpose. A midfielder who can chip in with goals is gold dust for United. So, how does he fit into this Manchester United side? Let's map it out. With Casemiro aging and struggling to cover ground like before, United need energy, discipline, and progression in that role. Agoume offers exactly that. He could either partner Mainu in a double pivot, giving the youngster freedom to express himself, or slot as a lone six in games where control is paramount. And alongside Bruno Fernandes, Agoume's ability to win the ball and instantly progress it would unleash Bruno's creativity higher up the pitch. Instead of Bruno dropping deep and tiring himself, Agoume takes that responsibility. This is what transforms a team: the right balance in midfield. Why United need him now? Think of the Premier League's elite midfields. Manchester City with Rodri, dictating games. Arsenal with Declan Rice commanding the middle. Liverpool with Alexis Mac Allister and Szoboszlai adding energy. United, too often disjointed, overrun, predictable. That's why Agoume is not just a signing, he's a necessity. He brings the grit of Rice, the composure of Rodri, and the progression of a true modern midfielder. He's young, hungry, and ready to explode. United would not just be buying a player, they'd be investing in the spine of their future. And here's the most important part: Manchester United need identity. For too long, fans have seen their midfield bullied, their control evaporate, their backbone questioned. Agoume represents something different. He represents resilience, intelligence, courage. He represents the return of a Manchester United midfield that doesn't just survive games, it dominates them. If he walks into Old Trafford, you're not just looking at another transfer, you're looking at the start of a midfield revolution, and maybe, just maybe, the rebirth of Manchester United's true identity.